You are underestimating AI, but more importantly, you're underestimating the ecosystem beneath it, DPIN. Are you ready for a futuristic world where sustainable smart cities, delivery drones, robo-restaurants, and much more are right at your fingertips? Well, hop on the decentralized physical infrastructure train, because that's where we're heading today. DPIN is basically compute, storage, and communications. And today, we're going to talk about one of the leading layer 1 blockchains in the DPIN space. It's time to discover crypto. What's going on? I'm DZ, and today I'm going to walk you through Peak, a layer 1 blockchain specifically designed to power real-world applications in the DPIN category. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know I love DPIN, but if you're new here, it stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network, and it's a new crypto trend you definitely need to keep an eye on. And thanks to Peak for sponsoring this deep dive on DPIN. DPIN connects the real world to the blockchain and allows machines and other physical infrastructure to communicate and exchange value with each other in a decentralized manner. And then users who offer the physical infrastructure are rewarded with crypto. An example of this would be putting a traffic sensor in your car that communicates with other sensors and uploads that information onto the blockchain, like the Natix network. Other DPIN projects aim to create peer-to-peer energy trading platforms to decentralize the energy grid. DPIN is trying to reclaim the power that's currently hoarded by big tech and governments and give it to you, the regular people. Think of a world where drivers and car owners have the control and profits associated with the value and the info that they bring to Uber. Plus, you'd have the same ease of connecting with drivers, but you wouldn't have a tech company spying on you and selling all your data all the time. That's where the world of DPIN jumps in, which Messari estimated will see a whopping $3.5 trillion worth of growth by 2028. Okay, so let's get into why I'm so bullish on Peak. But before I do, make sure you hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to know more about DPIN, and throw us a subscribe if you haven't already. Peak is the home of DPIN, and allowing anyone to build DPIN applications that facilitate things like car sharing, street mapping, internet access, and more, all in a decentralized manner. And when you build on Peak, you have access to multi-chain capabilities rather than just have one chain to rule them all mentality. Now, Peak is already compatible with Ethereum, Polygon, Cosmos, Solana, and Binance. What's so cool about Peak is that it also allows people to turn their machines, robots, vehicles, and other devices into real-world assets that provide returns. This includes fractionalized ownership. So me personally, I know I can't afford my own set of wind turbines. But with Peak, you can buy a piece of someone else's, enjoy the gains, and then join the DPIN party. Peak prides itself on a mission of global infrastructure revolution that utilizes the greenest tech in Web3. It seeks to use cutting-edge technology to return to the way things used to be, person to person and community to community. And Peak may be our only defense against a matrix dystopia where big tech has replaced everyone's job with AI and robots. As vehicles, robots, and devices become more self-intelligent and self-aware, Peak shares the associated profits among individuals rather than overpaid CEOs and corporate shareholders. Peak is working towards a future that enriches the 99%, not just the 1%. Think about that for a second. It's the perfect premise for a L1 blockchain focused on real-world apps to be all about. Peak was founded back in 2017 by Leonard Dorlachter, Max Thake, and Till Windler. They focus on R&D with large enterprises such as NTT and Bosch before turning their attention to building the Peak L1 in 2021. Since then, they've raised millions with notable investors like Hashkey Capital, GSR, and Fundamental Labs. It's no wonder investors are intrigued by Peak. Their token hasn't even launched yet, and they already have the most DPIN apps building on it, outpaced only by Ethereum. Peak has over 20 DPIN apps from 7 different industries building on the Peak blockchain, as well as many other exciting partnerships in the pipeline. And in February 2024, the former CEO of Cisco Germany, Michael Ganzer, accepted an executive role at Peak Foundation. The hype is real, folks. Some of the Peak projects are top secret, but the other 17 have been announced. So let's just jump into the Peak ecosystem quickly. First, there's eLoop, which is what I was talking about before with car sharing. eLoop has 100 Teslas in its car sharing fleet that serves almost 100,000 Peak ecosystem users, or Peakosystem users. Anyone can invest in the cars and earn from the revenue. Decentralized ride sharing was their initial target, but they've recently expanded their approach to focus on the tokenization of mobility and energy assets for DPINs on Peak. Then there's Natix, bringing AI-powered sensors to Peak with a privacy-first mentality. I know you can get behind that. Natix uses smartphones to send information on anything from how crowded a location is to how much traffic someone should expect while protecting your data. Natix has an app called Drive and that allows users to turn their phone into a dashboard cam and receive rewards for every street they map while they drive. Drive and is on track to overtake HiveMapper with over 6,000 users since it launched last year. They are the fastest to map 1 million kilometers out of all Web3 and Web2 applications. That is gargantuan. A truly decentralized world map is closer than we think. And Silencio, a DePIN working on tracking noise pollution, recently chose Peak over Solana as its L1 blockchain. Again, Silencio uses smartphones to collect live data on noise pollution for researchers and decision makers. Since noise pollution causes a host of health problems, this is a first step towards combating it while incentivizing users with, get it, the noise tokens. These are only a few of the cool projects that have chosen to partner with Peak. So why are projects choosing to build on Peak versus other more well-known blockchains like Solana, Cardano? Well, they're being wooed by Peak's fundamentals, among many other factors. Also, Peak is super scalable and as cheap as Solana. Plus, its decentralization is next level with a Nakamoto coefficient of 92. Peak supports EVM and Ink, so it's flexible and convenient for builders. It also has ready-to-use DePIN functionalities, tools, and interfaces that speed the development time for users. And the Peak team eats, drinks, and breathes DePIN. They're members of and support other DePIN communities, constantly looking for synergies with other DePIN projects. And all the dApps on Peak are interoperable, so once you join the ecosystem, you only have to onboard once. This is why projects like 2Blocks left Algorand to build on Peak. And Mapmetrics expanded from Solana to Peak. And Peak has a grant program that offers funding and research for new creators in the DePIN space. So you can see they have a long-term mentality. And they also just partnered with Bosch, ushering the world's largest sensor manufacturer into the world of DePIN. And at the beginning of March, they integrated Wormhole, which will enable users of over 30 different ecosystems to bridge their tokens to Peak in order to participate in all that Peak has to offer. And Peak has taken it upon itself to solve a big problem associated with DePIN: data verification. Peak Verify leverages cryptography, machine learning, and trusted oracles to verify device data in a trustless, decentralized manner. So if you want to add some DePIN to your portfolio, Peak is a great option since, much like an index fund, it gives you exposure to all the projects on its blockchain. But here's the bad news. The native token isn't out yet, but we're bringing you guys the alpha in advance so you can prepare yourself for the public sale that's planned for the first half of 2024. And it's going to be worth the wait. When Peak launches, it plans to have machines running on its network in 99% of countries across the globe. It's also on track to be one of the top 10 most active chains by wallet activity, as well as to have the most DePIN apps building on it out of all the layer 1s, providing a home for 25% of the DePIN market. And that's just at launch. I'm certain Peak is going to be a household name soon enough. Now, Tales of Token airdrops have the degens running to join Peak socials, and you should too if you want some free tokens and access to the future of DePIN. We're going to put links in the description of this video below so you can keep up to date on when the public sale will happen and hopefully catch some of that free money falling from the sky. Well, that's all I got for you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. And as always, I'll see you in your DePIN bags at the top.